नमस्कार चेयरमैन साहब, संदीप अग्रवाल जी, नमस्कार।
नमस्कार नमस्कार शर्मा जी, नमस्कार।
So you are going somewhere, sir?
अब मैंने कहा घर पे भी बैठ के अब ये करने में दिक्कत है, फिर उसके बाद मेरे को डीओटी भी जाना है, एक मीटिंग है।
ओके ओके,
तो इसलिए मैं निकल ही लेता हूँ।
राइट।
ये वाली तो नेट पे है तो इसलिए कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, कार में
Because you have to take the adequate margin to reach the destination actually these
हाँ
days.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। देखा ये
काफी ट्रैफिक। हाँ जी,
आपकी मीटिंग 12:40 पे खत्म होनी है और हमारी मीटिंग जो है वो मेरे को 12 बजे निकलना पड़ेगा, तो
जी,
इसलिए लेट हो जाता है।
राइट। नमस्कार शुक्ला जी। डॉक्टर शुक्ला जी।
हाँ नमस्कार सर, नमस्कार। एम आई ऑडिबल?
यस सर, यस।
So I am with Madam also. Dr. Sujata Chaklanovis is also here. Okay, so,
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning to you.
So we are waiting for our chair of the Foreign Trade and Investment Committee, Shri Deepak Baba ji.
okay.
Right.
नमस्कार मैडम, संदीप अग्रवाल, I am chairman industry committee.
Sandeep Agarwal ji, our chairman of the Industry Affairs Committee, ma'am.
Namaskar.
He is representing the Paramount Cables Limited,
Right.
which is also a export company and in the domestic manufacturing. Hello, हाँ जी।
Shama. Hello.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I have been
We
able
welcome
to.
our chair of the Foreign Trade and Investment Committee, Shri Deepak Pavaji.
गुड मॉर्निंग बाबा जी.
Good morning, Agarwal साहब. क्या हाल है?
बहुत बढ़िया, मजे मजे.
अच्छा, today I am going to be having to take this from my mobile because I am having problem with my other laptop. It doesn't seem to be connecting on the Zoom. So I hope that will be all right, Mr. Dr. Sharma.
Sorry?
I hope if I take it from my mobile will be all right.
Yes. Not an issue, sir.
You can see me clearly and hear me clearly.
Yes.
Okay, that is
Totally.
good.
Your voice
So-
and your picture is now 100% clear.
Very nice. And when are we joining in, or who is joining in?
Ma'am, Sujata Chaklanobis already joined, and Dr. Vipin Shukla ji already joined from Ministry of Science and Technology, DSIR.
Very nice.
So, Dr. Shukla, shall we start the program right now with your permission?
Yeah, sure. But your president, is he going to join?
Sir, President is not well.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
okay. So,
unwell,
ma'am,
so that's why he's not able to join. So from our side, Shri Deepak Pavaji, our chair of the Foreign Trade and Investment Committee, will be providing the welcome remarks.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharma ji, we can start then.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. A very good morning to all of you. Respected dignitaries from the government, Ministry of Science and Technology, and industry members, managing committee members of the PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have with us eminent experts who would be deliberating upon various DSIR schemes for the growth and development of trade and industry in India. The Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, DSIR, was set up in 1985 under the Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. The objective of DSIR is to foster local research and technological development and strengthen relation and interconnectivity among the government, industry, and university in the country. So it is appreciable and inspiring to note that the crucial role played by the DSIR in promoting research and development in the country, facilitating development of state-of-the-art, globally competitive technologies of high commercial potential, augmenting technology transfer capabilities, enhancing the share of technology-intensive exports, among others. On the similar lines, PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry is 117-year-old industry body, which is representing the issues of the trade and industry to the various departments of Government of India and the state governments, promoting the growth and development from the grassroots with the membership base of 150,000. So the chamber works towards fostering an efficient partnership between government and business to facilitate economic growth and contribute directly and indirectly in strengthening the production possibility frontiers, reducing the import dependence, promoting industrial development, among others. We are glad to share that PhD Chamber has connected with DSIR since the last many years. When we were awarded with the study on framework of university industry linkages in research. Currently, we are working on yet another study awarded to us named Formulating a Suggestive Model for India for Facilitating University Industry Linkages in Research, which is already submitted to the Department of Science and Technology, DSIR, and we are awaiting the release of this study in the coming months. So we have been awarded 2 studies during the last 5-6 years, and which have been completed successfully by the PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry. University industry linkages refer to the interaction between firms and universities or public research centers with the goal of solving technical problems, working on R&D, innovation projects, and gathering scientific as well as technological knowledge. It involves the collaboration of industries and universities in various areas that would foster the research ecosystem in the country and enhance growth of economy, industry, and society at large. So with these words, I would like to firstly request our chair of the Foreign Trade and Investment Committee, Shri Deepak Pavaji, to provide the welcome remarks.
Good morning, everyone. The dignitaries who have come in today and also our guests who are on this webinar. I'd like to make a special welcome to Dr. Sujata, Dr. Shukla, who are scientists G and F respectively at the Ministry of Science and Technology, Department of Science and Technology, Dr. Mazumdar, scientist D, and Mr. Agarwal, who is the chair of Industry Affairs Committee, and Dr. Sharma, whom you just heard as our chief economist at PhD. It's very unfortunate that our president had taken ill last night, and I'm happy to step up and welcome you all on his behalf and behalf of the chamber. Today is going to be a virtual interaction with DSIR on industry, on their schemes and industry interests. While I'll share some of the thoughts that have been put together by our chamber, I will at the end like to add something about our company and also some of my thoughts about what we could do with DSR in the future. So I'll leave that till the end of my welcome address. So we are very grateful the Department of Science and Technology and Industrial Research has chosen PhD as a platform to delineate about various DSIR schemes and their benefits for trade and industry to the stakeholders of diverse industries. The mandate of DSIR is to facilitate and support industrial research besides indigenous technology promotion, development, utilization, and transfer. DSIR has been supporting innovative projects directed towards improving the technology and industrial competitiveness of the industry. The DSIR programs have been catering to all aspects concerned with transformation of an innovation from mind to market. It is highly appreciable that DSIR programs and activities under the scheme are centered on promoting industrial R&D, development and commercialization of technologies, acquisition, management and export of technologies, promotion of consultancy capabilities, amongst others. DSIR's patent acquisition, collaborative research and technology development PACE scheme is highly beneficial and essential to boost industry and institutions towards innovation that can lead to commercially viable solutions. I'm pleased to share that PhD has worked with the DSIR for many years. Recently, we have worked on a study of formulating a suggestive model for India and facilitating university industry linkages and research. The study was awarded to PhD under Access to Knowledge for Technology Development Dissemination Studies Program of DSIR. Prior to this, DSIR also awarded us with a study on framework of industry-university linkages and research under the same program of DSIR, which was submitted in 2018. Moving further, I believe there exists tremendous potential to re-embark on the path of accelerated growth, supported with effective, strong linkages between universities and industry. In this regard, I'm assertive that our collaborative reports will contribute in improving the policy environment of the university industry linkages in the country. Research and innovation drives business growth and helps organizations stay ahead of their competitors. Research and innovation management helps in generating new business models and creates new products, services, and technologies. I hope today's webinar will provide viable insights into the schemes of DSIR and fruitful deliberations on the perception of indigenous research and development leading to self-reliance or a self-reliant India. And before I close, as I mentioned, right in the beginning, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my company, not so much from a company point of view, but as an entrepreneur over the years who has believed in research and development. So my company's name is Dsir. Dsir is a company in environmental control business, but more specifically, we are an MSME. Though we employ 1,500 people across the globe, we continue to be an MSME. And I have developed 14 technologies on which I have filed 140 international patents. And majority of these have been granted or getting granted. We have 3 of our labs which are certified or registered with DSIR. In this whole journey, in 40 years, we have not taken 1 rupee of any funding from any government agency whatsoever. I export product to 80 countries in the world. And some of these technologies are the backbone of the emerging technology for battery cell manufacturing, the environment in which it has to be manufactured. This is the only leg of cell manufacturing where India is at the forefront, and we are providing technology for this to global players who are putting up plants in Volkswagen in Germany, etc. So this is just to let you know what has been a journey of a company like us in India in research and development, and what I think we could do more by way of specific interactions, specific learnings that are there. So I'll touch on 2-3 subjects very briefly. First, I will take a very simple subject, which is not something that it should be taken too seriously, but it is to provide a context. A few years ago, our finance minister withdrew all benefits on research and development, incentives under tax, and substituted that with no incentives, no benefits if you chose a particular rate of tax, which is fine. So I'm not going to go there and waste time and say that that is something which we need to reinstate. The second item which I'll be coming to is our industry university interface. And I think there, I'll come to that and then I'll go to the fiscal side later. In the industry in academia interface, I've had a chance to talk to many people. It's a very, very wishful thinking. And we are seeing the similar problem, not in India, but all over the world. All over the world, they try and make every effort. Though as a result of that, many organizations have grown, which are substantially government funded. But they provide research to the industry, which is on a practical basis, which is industrial research. Examples are very outstanding. One of the largest research organizations in the world is Fraunhofer Institute. The second one, of course, which is more privately owned and funded, one of the largest research establishment in the world, is Battelle in US. In India, we have none of the like. We've had a chance to compare how research has grown, how the government or institutions have grown in countries like Taiwan, Korea, Japan, and other tigers around us, and what can we learn from them. And study has been done by PhD in one of our groups where I was the chairman of that committee, to be able to share with our establishments like DSIR, that if there is something that we can pick and learn from them and see if there is something to emulate or modify to suit what we can do in India. And I'm sure DSIR is always doing the same thing. But on the ground, when we try and convert such very good schemes into practical aspects, somewhere along the line, the bureaucracy or to see if any misuse is there, that creeps in, and therefore a lot of good schemes actually can't see fruition or be practically utilized for one reason or another. Third is that today we are seeing a lot of startups in the country, a lot of startups, which would all be talking about innovation. And I think it's a very good sign. But we must not confuse innovation with research and development. Innovation can be a business model. Innovation can be in any number of fields. So all these guys are doing a great job. But all of them still need basic research and development on the technology side that we as DSIR are talking about. Now, in this, we should not take comfort in the fact that India is innovating, therefore everything is happening, and we are therefore going where we want to be. I think there's a lot that is to be done on scientific and industrial research. There, I would strongly urge if DSR and PhD can take an initiative and initiate a workshop, not a seminar, a workshop of select people. Our president is very, very vocal about this, who is not here today, about what can we all do to incentivize. I'm not asking for tax breaks. Incentivize both research and development in the industry. I'm not sure if there are any, I can't count even one who would in the MSME sector, who would be doing so much research as we are doing and globally recognized for the products that we have. Now, this has been done only on the strength of an individual zeal, but there are so many around who can benefit in whatever way we can come up with to incentivize that. You see, Jugaad should be taken positively, that is in our blood. So I would urge that if a workshop can be arranged by DSIR and PhD, which will focus essentially on what we can do to incentivize, how can we get more people to engage in research and development, frugal research and development, and encourage them and not worry about who might misuse. Even if there's a 10% misuse, we should see the bigger picture and take the tide on the way it is today. India is emerging and people are comparing it to Israel. Israel is maybe compared to India in terms of startups, but India cannot compare itself with Israel in terms of research and development. So I think our people get glossed over by things. There's a lot to be done in research and development at the industry level. So I think I've spoken a lot. I'm just leaving a few thoughts for Dr. Sharma and our PhD team to take forward with people like Dr. Shukla and Dr. Sujata. Incidentally, you have a new chief, a lady chief. Congratulations on that. And also that lady chief has come from Sikri in Chennai. I had a chance to make a presentation to her, I think last year, when they were looking at localizing some of the very special requirements of producing lithium cells in the country. So good, very nice to see that there is a new young lady blood coming up in DSIR. With that, I'll close my remarks and thank you all for joining in.
Thank you very much, Shri Deepak Pavaji, our chairman of the Foreign Trade and Investment Committee and managing director of Dsir Asia, which is very reputed company in India and abroad. So we are thankful to for your very, very practical aspects of the university and industry linkages and innovation system in India, which is now key for the futuristic growth trajectory to move forward with a sustainable growth, and which is needed for more and more competitiveness in the domestic level and in the global markets to compete more with the global conglomerates in various products and services. So thank you very much for sparing your valuable time. So moving ahead, I would like to request the opening remarks by Dr. Sujata Chaklonobis, Scientist G and Head PACE CRTDH E2K Studies DSIR. Madam Sujata Chaklonobis, please.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. Good morning to all. Shri Deepak Pahwa, Chair, Foreign Trade and Investment Committee. Shri Sandeep Agarwal, Chair, Industries Committee. Shri Dr. S.P. Sharma, Chief Economist, PhD CCI, delegates from the industry and academia, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. I think what Dr. Deepak Pahwa ji said just now that we need to incentivize R&D for the industry, leaving aside the tax portion, is very relevant and needs to be explored. The point that he made that frugal research should be promoted, yes, we do think so, because industrial research at many quarters are into incremental changes rather than disruptive changes in India, and we need to promote that, and we'll find out ways and means how DSIR and PhD CCI can work together to bring these things together. So talking about this webinar, I would like to highlight that the micro, small and medium enterprises sector has emerged as a highly vibrant and dynamic sector of the Indian economy over the last 5 decades. It contributes significantly in the economic and social development of the country by fostering entrepreneurship and generating large employment opportunities at comparatively lower capital cost, next only to agriculture. MSMEs are complementary to large industries as ancillary units, and this sector contributes significantly in the inclusive industrial development of the country. There's a sizable number of MSMEs in our country which contribute about 29% to the GDP of our country through their national and international trade. All MSME sector is a strong pillar of economic growth. It is often characterized by low technology levels, however, with some exceptions. This acts as a major handicap in the growth of MSME sector in the emerging global market and is therefore seen as the next frontier for infusion of technology. While R&D has taken great strides in other fields, its penetration to the MSMEs has been very minimal. Despite efforts, institutional linkages with research and development establishment and industry have not developed. The challenge, therefore, is to enable the MSMEs embrace the technologies to leapfrog and contribute significantly in the inclusive growth process. There's a need to move forward to unleash the full potential of MSMEs, and MSMEs need to play an important role to realize Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. The ability to innovate and deploy globally competitive technologies has been recognized as the next key driver for global economic change in the emerging knowledge economy. While science is scholarship driven, technology and innovation are market and competition driven. Promotion of public partnership into R&D is a critical component of India's competitiveness in global trade and industrial growth. New strategies and tools are required to stimulate engagement of private sector into R&D and enhance the share of private sector investment of India's R&D spend. India has a huge and impressive education system. A conducive R&D ecosystem requires cutting-edge research universities, industrial R&D centers, and a network of government laboratories with well-maintained infrastructure and liberal funding together towards defined objectives. Effective mechanisms of collaboration need to be created for universities and industry bodies so that research output and innovations can effectively be commercialized and transformed into marketable products and services for the last mile benefits. It's important that the development and results of affordable technology reach and positively affect the people at the bottom of the pyramid in the country. India is in a unique position to mount a strong initiative for affordable innovations for technologies for social and public good by taking advantages of low cost expertise and vast talent base. India of the 21st century is an emerging country with an aspiration of faster, sustainable, and inclusive growth. As science and technology emerges globally as one of the major drivers of socio-economic development, it has to play a major role in achieving the desired goals. The country offers a unique opportunity in the form of large demographic dividend and a huge talent pool for national development through its relevance and performance. In the fast-growing Indian economy, there is an increasing demand for scientific inputs for problems in a variety of socio-economic, industrial, and strategic sectors. It is high time that India, as a fast-growing nation, converts those challenges into opportunities. To achieve this, several S&T interventions are required. Some of the emerging challenges being faced by the S&T sector include low investment in R&D and inadequate linkages amongst the academia, the researchers, and the industry. Research and development are a crucial part of a company's operation that seeks knowledge to develop, design, and enhance its products, services, technologies, or processes. Along with creating new products and adding features to the old ones, financing research and development connects various parts of a company's strategy and business plan. India's R&D investment has shown a consistent growth trend over the years, but as a fraction of true GDP, the public expenditure has been stagnant at 0.6% to 0.7% of GDP for the past 2 decades. India's R&D expenditure as a fraction of GDP is nominal as compared to countries such as the US at 2.8%, China at 2.1%, Israel at 4.3%, and Korea at 4.2%. The R&D expenditure in India is mainly from the central government, with marginal contributions from the states and the private sector. This is one of the biggest hurdles for India, which is hampering returns from S&T in India. Although R&D by industry rapidly rose from 2005 to 6 onwards, it wasn't fast enough to overtake R&D by the government. It has been reiterated at various quarters in the government that the curve by industry needs to intersect the government R&D and rise. Only then can India be at par with developed countries. The good news is that more and more Indian companies in sectors ranging from IT and telecom, pharmaceuticals and biotech, electronics and FMCG are now taking up ambitious R&D projects aiming to serve the Indian market and eyeing a piece of the global pie by innovating. Although this is a good sign, India still has a long way to go. While the percentage of R&D expenditure of Indian companies has increased in general, in most cases, it is much lower than that of the global competitors in the same industry. Research indicates that absorptive capacity of a company is directly proportional to the intensity of in-house R&D. This is an important reason for Indian companies to stay invested in in-house R&D. Only when Indian companies will invest a substantial chunk into R&D and collectively work on innovating and creating world-class products will it pave the way for making India to be a success. For several years, R&D centers were concentrated within the developed world as companies restricted high-end R&D activities to their home country and within the physical boundaries of the corporate firm. However, over time, most firms expanded into developing regions and established local R&D centers, albeit not on a full scale, to tap these newer markets. The expansion into few new markets in Asia Pacific led to gradual internationalization of R&D activities. While Japan, Australia, South Korea, and Taiwan had made their mark in the field, India and China became the major beneficiaries of the phenomenon. Higher order R&D activities in destination countries were made possible. It is encouraging to see that India continues to be one of the most preferred destinations in the world for research and development services. MNCs are turning to India for setting up their R&D centers. Texas Instruments was the first foreign company to set up an R&D center in India. It opened its Bangalore center in 1985. Although initially developing and supporting proprietary software systems for their integrated chip design, it became a full-fledged design center for application-specific products by 1990. The company has evolved since then, and Texas Instruments India has opened a design center for 3G wireless chipsets and a center for developing wireless local area network chipsets. The company has developed 225 intellectual property rights at its center in Bangalore. The fact that multinationals are establishing globally advanced centers to tap India's low-cost English-speaking engineers and experts show that there is no shortage of talent in India. Looking at the importance of R&D by industry and also the importance of collaborative research between industry and academia, the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, DSIR, through its Patent Acquisition and Collaborative Research and Technology Development Scheme, provides catalytic support to industries and institutions for development and demonstration of innovative products and process technologies, traversing the journey from proof of concept or laboratory stage to pilot stage, so that they can be launched for commercialization. The scheme supports ingenious work and assists in development of new technologies or creative and innovative application of the existing technologies to solve unmet needs of industry. The scheme also strengthens the interface between industry, R&D establishment, and academic institutions by supporting collaborative proposals. Support is provided for proposals which give clear evidence of existence of proof of concept and aim at developing an innovative content for fulfilling an unmet need. Development and demonstration of technologies can be undertaken by industries alone, such as in-house R&D centers of the industry, or in collaboration with universities, public funded research institutions, or academic institutions. The technology development projects supported under the scheme aim at development of a new product or a process with attractive market potential, which result in significant benefits to the industry concerned in terms of raising its technological level, turnover, energy and material saving and recovery exports, etc. We have advertised a call for proposals under the PACE program. The last date of application is 29th August 2022. My colleague, Dr. Vipin C. Shukla, will present the details of the program shortly. And I look forward to all the members from the industry to put up good proposals under this program and get benefited. And DSIR would be more than happy to support such proposals. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sujata, and your suggestions like collaborative efforts of the university and industry would go a long way to enhance the R&D trajectory in the country, which is very, very pathetic at this juncture, less than 1%, and we are not comparable with the niche economies and our global conglomerates. So we have to enhance this trajectory with the more and more university and industry linkages, and we had one effort.
Okay.
For the industry in the area of clusters and industry interaction with university, frequency of industry interaction with university, then university support in providing quality solutions to industry, then MOUs and collaborations between the university and industry signed during the particular year, and patents gained in the last 5 years by the university and industry in collaboration with the innovative ideas. So that was I think, a great study provided by the Ministry of Science and Technology, which is very, very useful for the industrial segments. So now moving ahead, I would like to invite our Chair of the Industry Affairs Committee, Shri Sandeep Agarwal ji, to provide the industry perspective on the university industry and the patents and how to enhance the innovation system in the country with the practical suggestions from his side. Shri Sandeep Agarwal ji is the Managing Director and promoter of Paramount Communications Limited, which is amongst the largest cable manufacturers in India. He has received numerous awards in the social, cultural, and industrial organizations over the past 30 years. Shri Sandeep Agarwal ji, please.
Namaskar. Thank you so much for the kind words, Sharma ji, Dr. Sujata Chakravarti ji, Scientist G, and Mr. Vipin C. Shukla, Scientist F, and the team from DSIR, our industry panelists and friends. It is my pleasure to have a interactive discussion with DSIR, because I really believe that, as Sharma ji also said, Madam also said, that India requires a huge boost in the technological development, scientific and industrial research. DSIR has been doing a human service to this cause, but still we need a lot to be done. India has shown that India can be second to none when we wanted to do something in the space industry, when we wanted to do in the nuclear industry. We were able to develop the technologies and products and useful products at that. Be it generation of power, or be it for the safeguard of the country, bombs, nuclear bombs, or be it rockets to fire our satellites into the for us, for telecom purpose, for industrial research purpose, for agricultural purpose. Even the satellite development in India has been great. But when we come to development in the industrial sector, in the private sector, we find that that is where India has lagged behind in the scientific and industrial research. The numbers show that, and everybody knows it's nothing to be, afraid of saying, because if we don't say it, if we don't talk about it, we do not improve our system. I would like to bring to your notice the Israeli model. In the Israeli model of development, or coming out with new ideas for, when you have an idea, startup is one thing, but when you come out with an idea of a product and you need to design and develop it, then in Israel, the model is they support and give funding to everybody who comes in with an idea. They do not say that your idea is good or your idea is bad. In fact, if I understand correctly, heads have rolled in Israeli, organizations when somebody has tried to filter the applications which come in for technological development. Now, what Israel does is that whoever comes in and says that he has an idea, even if it is the most foolish idea in view of the officer, they are given the full support, they are given the office, they are given the equipment, and time and money to develop that, not to waste it, not to use it on themselves, but using on development and research on that idea, that how that product can be commercialized, produced and commercialized. Maybe 90% or 99% of those products and ideas fail. But it is that 1% which the government wants people to develop. They say that we do not know which idea is going to click, which research is going to give you the results. There was DC current and AC current. Everybody thought that DC is going to win. But then the power sector, AC won. So if there was no development and research in the AC sector when DC was ruling the roost, then obviously we would have not have the kind of energy and power everywhere as we have today. Anyways, so this is one example I want to give on the Israeli model. Then, as Sujata ji rightly said, that there is a lot of investment now coming in from the MNCs in putting their back-end R&D centers into India. It's extremely good that at least technological bent of mind is developing in India. Earlier, Indian scientists and engineers were going to US, Europe, Japan, Germany, and working in those offices and developing products. Now, at least the back offices are in India, and we are doing the development. But does it help India? The patents are not in the Indian name. The product is not Indian. So we believe that obviously it does not help India in a major manner. But yes, it is a path and we have to follow the path. Then, but I would like to say that although my interaction with DSIR has been less, but DSIR has been doing a human service everywhere. But I will like to give examples of the Department of Telecom and Railways, which have also been working with the industry to develop technological products. Now, in the telecom sector, I want to bring to the notice of the panel here and the people here that India has become one of the few countries who have written a paper and the specifications for 3GPP, in the 3GPP, there 3GPP-I has come in. So now there is a specification, 5G-I. We can have an Indian spec of the 5G sector. Nobody, only 4 countries in the world, Japan, US, China, and one country in Europe, they have the technology to make 5G products, 4G products. Now, I'm glad to inform that Indian companies have started developing the 4G core and radios. So, because, in India or in any country, domestic telecom is very important. If you have an electronic equipments which can be hacked or which are produced by other countries, they can be hacked. And if they can be hacked, your whole, the country's positioning as a world power becomes very, very weak. So we are glad to tell that now 4G has been developed domestically and it will be commercially deployed in the next 6 months by BSNL. Now, here I have another issue. DSIR is doing excellent work. Maybe DOT is also doing excellent work. They have given 10 crores each to 10 companies in the last 1 year to develop 4G, 5G products in India. But when it comes to commercially deploying a product, we have to understand that a new product always costs more because there has been cost of development also. And the volumes are very low. So our government has very kindly, in the telecom space, in the railway space, has very kindly accepted that this is true. And they have said that they will buy only from Indian companies wherever Indian product is available. And that's excellent. But then what happens is, the buying institutions are still hesitant and wary of buying Indian product. And then what is happening is that not to buy from Indian suppliers, they offer absurd prices to the Indian developers of these technologies. So let me give you an example. The price being offered to the 4G, which has been developed domestically, is 50% of the price which was given to the MNCs in 2018. Just because they say, because now we cannot buy from MNC, that was the last price we had. So we will, and we think that the prices may have gone down. So we will offer the Indian companies only 50%. What basically it means is killing the baby in the cradle. So I would request my panelists, my friends, my scientists from DSIR and media, the people who are available here, to bring this more and more to the notice of the powers that be, that technology development is a collaborative process. Scientific research is one thing. Commercializing that scientific research, we need the support of the buyers also. So we need to work towards that. We need to work towards development of semicon chips technology. A lot of technology is already available in our country. Now we need to have more research. We have been working in the fundamental research a lot. Now we have to work in research and development for commercial products, which can be sold in volume, which can increase our exports, which can actually result in our growth of GDP. And as I said, in the telecom sector, for our security of the country. I was trying to actually develop a submarine sounding system through optical fiber cables, submarine optical fiber cables, along with the academia. Now, I've not been very successful in getting development of the technology, or in we have been successful in putting up the projects, but in-house development of the technologies is somewhere we are still lacking. And I would really love to have a discussion with DSIR and to see that how much it is possible that we are able to work with them to develop the technologies we are looking for. There are many things, obviously, but today we are also here to listen to our friends and scientists from DSIR and learn from them the knowledge we have been missing. Probably there are many things which we think are not happening, government is not doing, but probably they will bring to our notice. So I will take your leave now, and I will request Sharmaji to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Shri Sandeep Agarwal ji, Chair of the Industry Affairs Committee of PSD Chamber, for providing deep insights about the public funded research and patents, and your perspective about the industry to move forward with more and more R&D activity, particularly in the promising areas, which can be a major growth driver for the Indian economy in the coming times, to push the trajectory and size of the economy to the level of $5 trillion in the coming times. Thank you very much, sir, for sparing your valuable time, as always. And now, moving ahead, I would like to invite Dr. Vipin Shuklaji from DSIR for his presentation on Patent Acquisition and Collaborative Research and Technology Development, PACE, scheme by the DSIR. Dr. Vipin Shuklaji, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sharma. Let me just share my presentation, then I will start. Is presentation visible? Dr. Sharma? Dr. Sharma?
Ji, sir, presentation is still not visible.
Okay, just can you help me? Share screen. Share screen. Yes.
Yes, sir, it's visible now.
Yeah. Now it is visible and in full screen.
Now visible, sir. Now visible. Fully
Okay.
visible.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. So. Morning to everyone, and I will talk about the one of the schemes of DSIR.
कैसे करे मतलब कटर से करे उसने पहले खराब कर दिया था ना वो मत करवाना
Yeah, so I'm Dr. Vipin Shukla, scientist in DSIR, and I'll talk about one of the schemes of DSIR, primarily focused at industrial technology development scheme. And I'm from Department of Scientific and Industrial Research. So our department is one of the departments under Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, and other two departments are Department of Science and Technology and Department of Biotechnology. So I am representing Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, that is DSIR. So just to give you a brief idea about the schemes of DSIR, primarily you may say funding scheme or support scheme. So we have two. One is the IRD, Industrial Research and Development, which comprises of 4 different schemes. First one, PRES, that is promoting innovation in individuals, startups and MSMEs. CRTDH is another scheme, which is Common Research and Technology Development Hubs. Third one is PACE, that is Patent Acquisition Collaborative Research and Technology Development Scheme. And today I'll talk about this scheme. And another scheme is A2K+, which is Access to Knowledge for Technology Development and Dissemination. And A2K+, I would like to add here, as Dr. Sharma also told, that they have got support from DSIR for undertaking a study under this scheme. I would also like to tell you that in past we have also supported to PhD CCI for undertaking events also under our scheme A2K+ events. So we have been interaction with PhD CCI time to time, and we have supported PhD CCI under different schemes. And another our umbrella scheme 2, which is assistant to public sector enterprises. We have 2 public sector enterprises, Central Electronics Limited and National Research Development Corporation, that is NRDC. So I'll directly talk about PACE scheme, which is Patent Acquisition and Collaborative Research and Technology Development Scheme, and with the objective to support development and demonstration of indigenous product process technologies by industry aimed at commercialization of few new products and process. So basically we want that if you have some technology at initial TRL level and you want to develop it for commercializations and you want to go ahead, so we can support under this scheme. So this is primarily for the technology which are to be commercialized as a new product or process. We also support collaborative research between Indian industry and R&D organizations, academic institutions, universities under this scheme. So it means that if industry want to submit the proposal on its own, they can submit. And if they want to submit in collaboration with academic institution or R&D organization, that is also welcome under this scheme. We support ingenious work and assist in development of new technologies or creative innovative application of the existing technology to solve unmet needs of the industry, as earlier told by our head also. I will just give you the brief that who are eligible. So a company registered in India having a healthy financial track record or a promising financial health forecast and should be in position to furnish bank guarantee for the loan. Actually, in this scheme, we give a soft loan to industry and that is secured by bank guarantee. R&D organizations, academic institutions, universities, they can also get support under this scheme if they are partner with the industry. So under this scheme, it is mandatory that the proposal should be submitted by industry as lead organization. R&D institutions or academic institution can be a collaborating partner, or industry can submit on its own, alone also. If I talk about how does the scheme operate, so as I told you, industries can submit proposals directly to us, either on its own or in collaboration with R&D organizations, academic institutions, universities. Now, in case if industry submit proposals alone, we give support up to 50% of the total project cost, with the condition that industry has to provide us bank guarantee for that amount. So for example, if the project cost, suppose an industry wants to develop some technology and the total project, total cost towards this project comes out to be 1 crore, for example. So we can give 50 lakhs to the industry for the development of this technology. Now, in the case, if the project is submitted by industry in collaboration with R&D organization or academic institutions, in that case, support up to 100% of the component of the project cost estimated to be incurred at R&D organization, academic institution, university is provided in form of grants in aid. So we give grants to the academic institutions, R&D institutions, and support up to 50% to the industry. Now, for example, suppose industry want to submit a project where they estimate that 1 crore is to be spent by industry, right? So, and their collaborating partner is also putting, also contributing. So now in this case, if industry is spending 1 crore, we will give maximum 50 lakhs to industry as loan, whereas the collaborating partner, they are also contributing in the development of the project, and they are also spending some amount, so we can give them the support up to the loan amount which we are giving to the industry. So for example, if we are giving 50 lakhs to the industry, we can give 50 lakhs as grants in aid to the academic institution also. So I think I could make it more clear, but in case if someone wants more details, we can have a discussion during question answer session also. All these proposals which are being recommended by an apex level submitted by the industry are peer reviewed and considered by our expert committee, and they recommend the proposal for support. Now, we support any industrial sector under this scheme, and the proposal which are leading to industrial useful application, we support all of them. In general, we don't support projects which are purely in the area of biotechnology and software as service. Otherwise, we promote all the industrial sectors, and now in present time, we give more focus towards the promising technologies like energy efficient technology, low cost automation, IoT, AR, VR related technology. All these are welcome if they are submitted by the industry. So basically, we support all the projects which give evidence of existence of proof of concept and aim at fulfilling an unmet need. We also give a special consideration for the projects aimed at benefiting at women, including those led by women scientists and technologies. Normally, the projects which are being supported by us and we support are of duration between 1 to 3 years. Now, I'll give you a brief idea and glimpse about the technologies which are demonstrated and developed under our PACE scheme. This is just to give you an idea. More details, if you want, you can go to our website, and from our annual report you can get. So one project, that is development of genetically engineered cellulose-free alkaline xylanase through submerged fermentation process, which is being which was submitted and completed by Messrs. KPS Biotech Private Limited, Mysore. And this project was basically aimed towards developing and demonstrating recombinant production of industrially important enzymes, and which have use in bio bleaching of paper pulp industry. And just to give you an idea about the project cost, so we give loan support of rupees 165 lakhs under this project. Another project related to design manufacturing, proving supply of 3 roller flow forming machine. This was being done by Paras Flow Form Engineering Limited, Mumbai. And under this project, they designed and manufactured a new 3-roller CNC flow forming machine with advanced control. And this was totally indigenous development. And under this project, we gave 400 lakhs rupees loan to the company. Another project which was company, the company was Aqua Agri Processing Private Limited, New Delhi, along with its collaborating partners, R&D institutions. This project is macroalgal biorefinery for carbon dioxide sequestration and production of biofuel and value-added compounds. And under this project, we gave 25 lakhs rupees support, and this is also completed, and the technology demonstrated great significance in harnessing greenhouse gases for bioenergy needs and for other value-added products. So this is also one of the successful projects which I wanted to show you. Another project from Natural Remedies Private Limited, this was on technology upgradation of palletization facility for herbal veterinary feed supplements. And this project is also successfully completed, and in terms of value addition to produce quality supplement at low cost. So this was the aim for this project, and they successfully achieved this. And under this project, we gave 189.7 lakhs loan to the company. Another project which is recently completed is from Senzyme Limited, Hyderabad, and it is also collaborating project where R&D institution and academic partner is ICT Mumbai. And this is the development of controller release formulation of naturally high purified human chorionic gonadotropin, and that is basically under this project. The formulation which has been developed has reduced the frequency of injection. A number of injections are being given to the diabetic and as well as the pregnant lady which has been reduced with this technology, and it has made the treatment also very affordable. So two big achievements we have found out under this project. And another recently completed project is from SAMI Sabinsa Group Limited, Bangalore, where this is on development of and standardization of manufacturing process for large scale production of valuable secondary metabolites from callus derived cells of vascular cambial explants of selected woody plant species. And under this project, it was expected that the technology would lead towards cost reduction, energy consumption reduction, emission reduction, and it will have a positive impact on environment, and that is achieved. The project is completed, and total rupees 90 lakhs we have given to the company as loan. So these are few of the examples from our successful completed list of projects during last few years. This I have given you just to give you an idea that what type of project you can submit, proposal you can submit, what type of funding you can apply for. So this will help you in formulating your project. Now, at present, the call for proposal is open, and which is at our website. You can go to our website, that is www.dsir.gov.in, or you can type in Google, you can do Google with the keyword space DSIR, and you can get the details of our scheme. And we would request you that you can submit proposal under this scheme, and all the details I have mentioned in the slide, as well as also mentioned on the website. You can submit to our head, Dr. Sujata Chaklanovis, at the email priya@nic.in. I would say that you can also contact me in case if you feel that some more clarification or some further detailing is required. You can contact me. You can use my telephone number 265904663. You can also write to me on my email. This is Vipin, VIPIN .shukla SHUKLA @gov.in. The last date submission is 29th August 2022. And I would be very happy to reply you back in case of any clarification is required. So please feel free to contact me in that case. So that is from my side. I hope that I have tried to make it more simplistic way I have presented. And in case, even if you feel that some more clarification required, please contact me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shukla, for providing a very nice presentation, which is very, very knowledgeable and useful for the industry for a collaborative partnership with the DSIR. And I think with the practical application of all these developments can enhance the R&D activity and increase the patents in India and trajectory of the Indian economy to the next level. So we will spread this awareness. Those who have not attended this program today, we will disseminate the representation to all of them, and we will provide the awareness and spread the awareness among the trade and industry about this very nice presentation made by you. So now I request all the participants to please come out with their questions to the DSIR scientists.
So, Vipin ji, may I start?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So, sir, one small clarification I wanted. In the middle of your presentation, you said that the money is paid to the entrepreneur and the developer against a bank guarantee.
Yeah.
So if somebody has a bank guarantee, doesn't need your money. This needs to be changed. I gave you the Israeli method. I know it is the small people we are talking here, the people who are needing 1 crore funding or 50 lakh funding or 30 lakh funding to do industrial research, they do not have even banking limits. How can they give bank guarantee? And to give a bank guarantee, they will need to have banking limit. They have to have that much amount in the bank as an FD before a bank is ready to give them this guarantee, bank guarantee. So I believe that for most of the companies, the purpose is lost. So I request that DSIR amends its system and allows the development of technology but not restricting it. Another point is asking for 5 copies, hard copies of a project. Now, this is a digital world, everything is happening digitally, and we are talking about science and technology. So let's do away with the requirement for hard copies. It for people around the country, it becomes difficult to produce high quality copies and then send it. Probably they then need to, once it is hard copy, then you need to go there and physically submit it. And the whole process gets delayed and becomes costlier for people. So my 2 small suggestions, sir.
Thank you, sir. For first of your suggestions, bank guarantee, because you know we are giving a bigger amount and we want to store it. So there may be other ways of securing money are available. But we think that bank guarantee is not necessarily it is required that you should have that amount in your account and then you can get the bank guarantee. I think probably it is based on the mutual. I'm not sure, but this is one of the way of securing this one. I think Madam will.
Thank you very much for your suggestion. Regarding guarantee part, we have done a lot of research being in this field. We are basically targeting, like our stakeholders are MSMEs. But we have interacted a lot with the companies and find that the micro sector is still not into active R&D. It's only the small, medium, and the large enterprises which are attempting R&D in true sense, and who could be our stakeholders. Someone who is attempting for R&D is supposed to have an R&D lab with some equipment, with some R&D personnel who are working on those projects. So I believe they are equipped adequately by way of, some backup finance which can support them to give bank guarantee. Coming to like adopting the Israel model, that's a good suggestion. But this scheme does not support that at the moment. Because why we are asking for bank guarantee, that is to secure the loan amount. Of course, we want to secure government money. One thing which one has to look into is that it's a soft loan at the rate of 3% per annum. I feel that this kind of soft loan may not be available very frequently into the market. So that is why we feel that the scheme is attractive and the companies would be interested in coming and taking up the such loans from DSIR, in spite of the fact that we are looking forward to bank guarantee. It's not that their money is spent somewhere. We are all aware of how bank guarantees function, how we function about that. So I think someone who is coming for R&D has that much of money to provide for bank guarantees. The second point, what you say is that reducing the number of hard copies is a good suggestion. We will look into it, and in future we will try to see what can be done about it. But of course, if you say that we have to do away with it because someone has to go and go to the post office or the courier service, if a company is existing, they have that kind of manpower support that they can invite the courier people, or someone goes and goes to the post office and mails us at least one copy. So that should not be a very cumbersome thing. Things, if we feel it's cumbersome, becomes cumbersome. If we feel it's something as a part of the process, it's okay. We can always do with it. At the moment, we need hard copies, but yes, your point is valid that we need to reduce the number of copies. That we will look into it. Thank you for your suggestion.
Thank you, madam. My view is only that doing away with hassles wherever they are, even though they may be very small. Even now, Supreme Court and High Court have been working on the net, and hard copies are not need to be submitted. You just file it on emails. Why I say that is, ma'am, because that reduces unnecessary interaction.
Yeah, we take your point. We take your point. We will give a thought to it.
I know, ma'am. I'm just giving a suggestion.
Yes.
And I honestly believe that you are going to take it forward, and in future, probably in some time, these things will be taken. Even bank guarantee, I again reiterate, madam, it is what you have said is correct. So you are looking at one section of the research and development. They are basically that sector which has enough funds available, and they are looking for a soft loan. I was looking at those people who do not have the money. They want to develop and then sell that product.
I think we are not targeting, they are not basically our stakeholders. Every scheme have their own stakeholders. Exactly. Someone who wants a company which is a private limited company, it is expected that if they are coming to us for loan support, they have a proper in-house R&D center, and if they are maintaining that, then this kind of support they should have.
No, exactly.
So I think we have your suggestions are well taken, and we will give a thought to it. We will discuss with the department.
The request is Israeli model. If you want, we can.
We will give a thought to it. And we see there are limitations everywhere, so we will give a thought to it. Whatever best can be done, we will do it in future. Thank you for your suggestion.
Good to know actually that so many projects have been done.
Yes,
the industry believes that most of the time it is just talk, nothing is happening.
No. Many
examples.
Yes.
It is great, and I know sir, copy of your presentation, Sharma ji, needs to be disseminated and sent to all the members. So that
definitely, sir. We will disseminate the presentation to all the industry stakeholders, those who are members of the PhD chamber. And we will also spread the awareness and discuss with the various industry stakeholders.
Sharma, one more. Sorry, madam, even I was planning to develop submarine listening technologies with submarine cables along with the IIT, Delhi and Madras and Mumbai. So I had a discussion with them. So we need to develop the technology for this. Although it is available internationally, but it is a very sensitive technology. So we need that it should develop in India. So is it possible that these kind of technologies are also supported?
Mr. Pahwa, individually we cannot discuss projects at this but we are open, as Dr. Shukla said. Just a moment, let me complete first. As Dr. Shukla said, that we are open to support for projects in every sector except biotechnology and IT in the service sector. Besides that, if you have an idea, you want to go ahead with R&D projects, you are most welcome. You can go through the entire guidelines, what is there on our website. Very clearly it is written that we support all sectors. So telecom, yes, we do support. So why can't you be eligible? You are eligible, but exactly on the project, I would not like to comment because this is not the platform. But of course, all sectors are welcome. So in that case, please do apply.
Okay, that's great. Sharma, now yours.
Yes, thank you, sir. So we invite the further questions from the audience, if any. So we have received a few questions in the chat box also, and I am reading those. Firstly, DSIR is working to create R&D ecosystem for industry and seek support, suggestions from industrial R&D expert and PhD CCI to invite expectations from industry for individual product-based and cluster research, focus on energy efficiency and environment friendly. Suggest role of DSIR or other GUI agency. This is question by Mr. Rajesh Kumar.
Well, the question is not very clear. If they want to know what exactly DSIR does, then I think Dr. Shukla has very clearly elaborated on what functions are there of DSIR. We are here to promote industrial R&D basically, and besides that, there are several other schemes running in the department, which are very popular and successful. If the person who has asked this question, if you want to know more about the schemes, then please do visit our website, which is www.dsir.gov.in. And as Dr. Shukla said, that if you have any, you need some clarification about the PACE program, please do contact us via our emails or the phone number that has been provided. We'll be more than happy to support you.
Thank you, ma'am. And with your permission, I am providing the clarity about the role of PhD CCI. I would like to mention that PhD CCI is an industry body which is representing the issues of the industry to the government. And for this particular arrangement, we disseminate the information of the DSIR and Ministry of Science and Technology to our members so that they are benefited from the policies of the DSIR, Ministry of Science and Technology for the growth and development of the country. So in the collaborative arrangements, we have already conducted the studies and organized programs as mentioned by Dr. Shukla during his presentation. So moving ahead, we have great aspirations to move forward with more and more collaborative efforts for the growth and development of the nation and particularly the enhancement of R&D activity in the country. So I think now the role of PhD CCI is also clear to the to Mr. Rajesh Kumar. So now I am reading the next question. Though large funds are being disbursed to a lot of academic and industry collaborations, however, research outcomes are not that much visible, and forthcoming accountability of academic institutions needs to be built in such support. This is question by Mr. S.K. Gupta, Invartech Company.
Well, it will be injustice towards the academia. I say a blanket, a generalized kind of a statement that nothing is coming out from the academia. There are very notable and very beautiful achievements, some achievements of academia, which needs to be lauded. Of course, if you say that from the industry perspective, if you think that it's not worthwhile, then I would like to say that a lot of basic sciences research is being done by the academia, which does not lead to commercialized products, which adds to the knowledge base basically. That is also very important because if you don't have that kind of knowledge base, how will you do the translational or applied research? So that is why probably that kind of a feeling comes in that nothing worthwhile comes out from academia, because most of the research what academia is doing in the field of basic sciences research. But the scenario over time, the scenario has changed. Many organizations are into translational and applied research now. And as I said, that some worthwhile products and processes have also come forward. Like in his presentation, Dr. Shukla gave an example of one of the projects which has been done by Messrs. Sanzyme Limited along with ICT Mumbai. ICT Mumbai is a organization, academic and research in academic organization, and they have supported into this project, and they have successfully completed this. So we cannot say that something worthwhile is not coming out, and the point being made that we need to look into the matter. Like this DSIR is not into policing. It's for support and promotion of industrial R&D, and we would be doing that with the best of the ability, what we have been doing in the past, with even more zeal and more energy. We'll be doing it in future also.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And a few more questions are there. Would you also clarify regarding the collaboration of industries with academic institutions and the grant schemes? This is question by Mr. Yash Jain, Clear Labs.
Yeah, we are discussing the PACE program, so I would confine my reply to only PACE. So as Dr. Shukla said, that what we will be providing to the collaborating agency, the public funded research institutions, academic bodies, research institutes, what would be we would be providing will be grants in aid. They will not be liable to return even a single penny. So that's a very attractive and a beautiful thing to do, because partial expenditure on research which is being incurred on the part of the PFRI or the collaborating agency will be taken care by the department. So I think partially that answers the question raised by Mr. Agarwal also, that it should be grants in aid to everyone. So partially we are doing that. If they have any collaborating partner, then of course that would be grants in aid, and they need not return back even a single penny to DSIR. No bank guarantee, no return of any money to DSIR. That would be completely grants in aid. So I think that answers the question of the gentleman who asked about the funding towards the PFRI. So it's all grants in aid. Nothing needs to be returned.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sujata ji, for nicely answering the questions raised by industry. So I think there is no further questions from the industry side, and we will disseminate the presentation for the further queries. So now I would like to invite Dr. Suman Mazumdar for the formal vote of thanks. He is Scientist D in the DSIR, Ministry of Science and Technology. Dr. Suman Mazumdar ji, please. And welcome to the seminar, sir.
Very good afternoon to all of you. It is a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorial occasion. The virtual interaction of DSIR with industry on PACE scheme of DSIR wouldn't have been successful without the effort of Shri Pradeep Multani, President, PhD Chamber. Though he could not join today's meeting on account of ill health, I wish him a speedy recovery. I express my heartfelt thanks that despite the busy schedule, Shri Deepak Pahwa, Chair, Foreign Trade and Investment, the committee spared time to grace the occasion and in providing the opening remark. I thank him for providing his valuable comments on industry-academia interface and incentives on research. I thank our divisional head, Dr. Sujata Chaklanovis, Scientist G, DSIR, in providing a valuable insight to onboard more and more industries onto the DSIR scheme of PACE, such that the more technologies can be supported and showcased. I thank Dr. S.P. Sharma, the Chief Economist, and his team in getting this webinar organized, and I thank him for the sincere effort in making this event an unforgettable event. I thank Shri Pradeep Agarwal in providing a country-specific examples as how to develop a product and where we need to emphasize. I thank Shri Pradeep Agarwal for his support in making this event a successful. I thank Dr. Vipin Shukla, scientist at DSIR, in showcasing the varied schemes of DSIR and the guidelines and the success stories of the space scheme and support provided by this scheme. Most importantly, I'd like to thank the members of the industry for their participation and hope this webinar would have enlightened them in approaching MSMEs to come forward to showcase their technological needs via this scheme. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Dr. Shri Vipin Shukla ji, for sparing your valuable time and your patience to listen the industry and providing the answers of the questions raised by industry. And we look forward for more and more collaborative efforts for the spread of awareness so that the policy environments becomes fruitful at the ground level and we are able to achieve our goals to enhance the growth trajectory of the country and nation building in the coming times with the improved standards of living of the people. Thank you very much, and thank you, my team, Kritika Basin and Manpreet Kaur, for your kind support to organize this very valuable program. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma, and your entire team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Namaskar.
Yeah.